So mine is about music too, but it's a little bit different. And I know that Ash over here is going to get wound up on this one, so that's what I've been waiting on, not to say anything. I think he was trying to poke it out of me earlier. But what I want to do is I want to hear your alls, and I'm going to be really quick on it. Opinion on if this so-called artist literally thinks that he's a good artist, or do you think that he is pulling one of the biggest fucking comedian jokes on people out there? Because if you don't know who I'm talking about, it's been all over the social media of this supposedly kick-ass guitar solo that this guy did just the other day on stage. Talking about Corey Feldman. What in the fuck is going on there for people to think that this motherfucker is a musician, man? Whether it comes to singing or playing guitar, what in the hell, man, is going on with that? I tried, man. Not that the dude is been through a lot of shit in his life. I understand that. He also was he was a childhood actor, which was awesome. He put up with some shit he never ever, that any human being should not have had to endure at a young age or any age. But has he lost his ever fucking lasting mind thinking that he is a fucking kicking ass musician? Okay, and I've listened over, people say, oh, you got to go see him. It's a good show and shit. Like, well, fuck yeah, man. It's a comedy show. That's what it would be for me, because I've pulled up a ton of YouTube videos, man, and listened to all the different places he's been and the different shit that he's done. And then he was just with Limp Bizkit the other night, did they did Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and singing. And old Fred didn't sound too bad when he was singing, but he's not he's more of a rapping type of guy, But then Feldman jumped in, man, and was, I guess they call it singing. I don't know what the fuck I would call it. It's more like calling in the fucking chickens or something, you know what I'm saying? But dude, I mean, come on, man. I don't know if you all have seen that guitar solo that supposedly was fucking massive, you know what I'm saying? And I'm watching it, man, and I do not see but a very small handful of fucking people that actually thought that it was a good thing, you know what I'm saying? I think, man, back that even James, when we had the little bitty when we first got together playing music, and how fucking horrible that we were, but our heart was in it. But that's exactly where we needed to stay at, was in that fucking building out back, and not fucking go out of there until we actually got good, and that's what we ended up becoming. You know what I'm saying? We ended up becoming kick-ass musicians and stuff, but we definitely would not have went on stage and thought that we were fucking kick-ass, man. So is he actually fucking with people? And this is the biggest comedian, the biggest act that there is out there, and he's getting off on this laughing because people are actually, because he's that kind of person that would pull something like that, you know what I mean? Or is he, I don't give a fuck, you got 10 of them, he still sucks. It's but the thing is he doing it like that, or has he really, is he really just fucked up, man, because of all the shit that's went on in his life, which is sad, you know what I'm saying? And he honestly thinks that because I'm watching, man, and I'm where he comes out and he gives his band a bunch of shit because they started playing the song way before they were supposed to, and he was supposed to do something, man, and You know, like, now we're not going to play that song. We're going to do this one. And he's changing shit up throughout it and stuff like that. Like, they're totally fucking lost, man, you know? And then they get playing, and it's like, and even you can look at the fucking musicians playing with them. Hershey, you and I have been on stage so many times together, man. If one of us, how many times did we fucking yell at John Hammond when somebody would fuck up on stage, man? Even if it was just a wrong note hit, John would look at them with the look that every person out in the audience, even a fucking deaf person, would have known that person fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would just stop and look at him and shit. And it's like, dude, just keep playing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing happened. Now, if it gets that bad, then we can, you know, we were pretty good at coming back from fucking up or just stopping the song and making it sound like that's the way it was. And that's true musicianship. But Feldman, man, I don't know, dude. I'm like, I don't know whether to laugh and say, man, he is really pulling a good one on people, or do I actually feel really bad for him and he's embarrassing himself like that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, there's some shitty fucking music out here, man, but are people paying to go see him because of who he is? Because I can't see spending money thinking that I'm going to listen to a fucking musician that's going to fucking entertain me with music. You see what I'm saying? Not fucking comedy, man. I mean, it's horrible, man. I don't even know how to say it. It's fucking horrible. And I'm like, and I don't say that about music, dude. I even give death metal and shit I can't even understand a chance. But it's like somebody gave this fucking guy, it's like it reminds me of like when I was a kid and I'd go pick up my grandma's guitar and start playing, man, and shit like that. That's what it reminds me of. Like, that's where it was. And, you know, or picking up my uncle who had like a wah pedal and a couple other crybaby and stuff. And I would think that was pretty neat. You know, and I'd pick it up and just make fucking noise, man. And that's pretty much exactly what the fuck he sounds like. Like somebody who just picked up a guitar in Guitar Center and said, watch this shit. You know what I'm saying? And made noise that had never played a fucking instrument ever. And I don't know, man. It almost is scary funny or scary sad, I guess. So I'm just, what's your opinion on this is where I'm coming from. Now, it has nothing to do with his childhood acting. It has nothing to do with what he's been through and shit. I'm saying as him really thinking he's a fucking musician.
That's everything to
do
do
you
with
think
it.
How?
That's everything to do with it. I'll break it down for you. And then we'll let old boy go last on this one because he's going to get nice and fired up on it. Corey Feldman suffers from what I call yes man syndrome. Okay? Corey Feldman is somebody who, personally, I love to death. I grew up with the dude. I've seen all of his movies. I just adore Corey Feldman. You know what I mean? If I saw him today, I would give him a big ass hug, probably about half crushing because I'm a giant. You know what I mean? I love that guy. Is he a great musician? No. But here's the problem. He's been doing this shit for a long time, and we've been letting him get away with it because we love him so much. Remember when he did Dream a Little Dream? He come out dressed like Michael Jackson, doing the Michael Jackson dance, looking like a retard. And did we say, oh, Corey, man, don't try to dance like Michael Jackson. You're too white for that. You look stupid. No, we said we love you, man. Dance. I don't care. Do it. Because we love you. We love Michael. We don't necessarily love you doing Michael, but, you know, it's okay. You're Corey fucking Feldman. We love you. You know? And being a celebrity when he started playing music and being Corey fucking Feldman, you know, from the Lost Boys and all of those movies, man, everybody knows Corey Feldman. He's one of the two Coreys. You know what I mean? He's like an 80s icon. So he would play something, and all the guys in his little entourage would say, oh, that was great, man. Yeah, that's awesome. You rock. He's been hearing that shit since he was a little kid. You see what I'm saying? People have been building him up since he was a little kid, telling him how amazing he is. He probably doesn't realize that he's not that good. You know what I mean? So when you go to see a Corey Feldman show, you're not going to see it for the music, because it's understood by you that you're not going to get good music from a Corey Feldman show. Now, every once in a while, he does all right. You know, I saw a clip of him singing a song from the Lost Boys, and it wasn't bad. You know, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I wouldn't make fun of him for it, you know what I mean? But I've seen him do some other things that were rather atrocious. But that's the way it is. You know that, being a musician. Sometimes it goes and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you just can't do something, and that's okay. But when you go to see one of his shows, you're not going because you think you're going to get like the Beatles or something, or the Doors. You know you're not going to get a great show. You're going because it's fucking Corey Feldman. And Corey Feldman is awesome, and we love Corey Feldman. I mean, he could literally get up there and grab a tuba, drop his drawers, bend over and fart into a tuba, and we'd still go, yay, fuck yeah, Corey, you're the man. You know what I mean? We just love that guy. You know, it's not about the music with him at all. Now, does he think that he's good? Yes. I guarantee you he thinks he's a good musician. Because everybody his whole life has been telling him he's amazing. Nobody's honest with the dude. Nobody tells him, hey, look, man, we love you, but maybe you shouldn't do that. You look kind of stupid. You're getting up there. You remember when he did that song with Corey's Angels for Howard Stern? And he got up there and played that song, and it was the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. And the song was horrible, and he sounded like shit. And the whole thing was just dumb. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, you're great. That's great, man. You know, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? That's terrible. You know, so no, he's not a great musician. You know, from purely a musical standpoint, us both being very good, very accomplished musicians, I can say no, he is not a great musician. He doesn't have great vocal range. He's not a great guitar player. He's not a great musician, okay? Period. From a nostalgia point of view, from a coolness factor, from just how amazing is it that I'm watching Corey Feldman right now, just being grateful that the fucking guy is still with us and not dead like Corey Haim, you know what I mean? Because it could have went that way. You know, I mean, they both got butt diddled by a bunch of different people. You know, when you get sexually abused like that when you're a kid, man, that fucks you up. You know, and you brought that up, and it has everything to do with it, because that makes you fucking nuts. And that has a lot to do with how we feel about Corey Feldman, you know, because one, we love him from all of his past work, the movies, all that stuff. But two, there's a profound sense of gratitude that he's still here, you know, and Corey Haim isn't, and Michael isn't, you know. A lot of people talk shit about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was the greatest musician this earth has ever known. He was unbelievable. And we miss Michael Jackson's music so much that even seeing a little white boy like Corey Feldman dance like Michael Jackson and try to look like Michael Jackson, that just warms our heart, because we miss Michael, you know? And it's more about just a love for Corey and a love for Michael that drives it, I think. It has nothing to do with his abilities as a musician. That's where I come down on it. Okay, old boy, rain down hell.
Oh, I'm going to. Now, if you guys see what this is, it's Corey Feldman, VIP. I got his autograph. And just so people know, he knows who we are, and he's talked to me outside. I actually see him I got in for free. James knows this too, because he talked to the guy I got us in for free. Corey Feldman actually isn't as bad as what people think. The problem is, you see him out in concert with fucking 10,000 people, and he sounds like shit. But inside, where there's like maybe 400 or 500, he's better in doing smaller clubs than outside. Yes, his dancing about Michael Jackson, he really loved Michael Jackson, dude. Yeah, I seen his dancing's just bad. Like the one where the Today Show you're talking about, when he came out with his hood over, started dancing and doing weird shit. I love Corey Feldman. He was such a great guy when I met him. He sang the song from Lost Boys. He actually did a decent job. And he had the bass player was the guy from Gleek or something like that. Oh fuck, I didn't. He got mad because he thought I was gonna go give him give Corey a card. And we started talking. He actually and people are paying to see Corey. Me and my wife met him for free. Well, that's what happens when you're me. But other than that, sorry, I had to throw that in there, but. He didn't do horrible. There was a couple songs I was like, what the fuck? And I don't know if you guys watch, him and his old lady are separated, him and his wife. Right now, I think they've been separated for about 8 months. And you could tell then that they were kind of like not talking, and that was like a year, 6, 7 months before that happened. She was really cool. They were really cool people. She sang a couple of the songs with us. You got to realize it isn't just him. People think he has another girl doing it. She sang some of the songs from the Goonies songs. He didn't do that song. He knows how to play drums. He's not the best. And just so you know, I used to be a drummer. I was like in stupid bands. I was a decent drummer, but yeah, he's not the best guitarist in the world. I saw that I don't know what he's doing, but you know what? I think like James said, people are allowing him to get away with shit because who he is and he's still alive. But there is people who make fun of him, and Pauly Shore, that one guy, it's on Rogan, makes fun of him all the time and said he really wants to see Pauly Shore and him do a show together. And they Corey Feldman, and a lot of people don't realize this. I watched that show that Pauly Shore has a podcast. And he had Corey Feldman in there, and he was originally going to play an Encino Man. And then they tested him out and put Brandon Fraser in. They were talking about this on there. So a lot of people don't know that. And you know what a mess that would have been. Imagine him being an Encino Man. He was like, dream a little dream. He thought he was Michael Jackson. And he was in so many drugs, bro, and so much bad things were happening. I think people are just letting him go. Because if you think about how many iconic movies he's in, I mean, Lost Boys, Stand By Me, Gremlins, The Burbs, The Fox and the Hound. He actually does the voice of the little fox when it's a baby. Just numerous movies. Dream a Little Dream. He's just Married with Children. He's been in so many things in the 80s and early 90s, and then his career just went to shit to lately. I mean, like he said, I'm surprised he isn't dead from all the stuff. Because I'm going to tell you something. When we met him, I could feel his pain. My wife could feel, because you know what we do. And we could feel his pain, bro. And I felt the pain that he's gone through in his life. And so did my wife. And he was very nice to my wife. He was a very nice man. Just a sad life. The guy's always, and this is what I think about Corey Feldman. He never really had a life because his parents were throwing him into Hollywood and all this crazy shit was going on. And I think he just wanted to be accepted. And Michael Jackson accepted him and he died. And I don't think he ever got over that. I think Michael Jackson treated him the way he should have been treated. And I think Corey's always wanted to be back what he is. And of course, when you're in Hollywood, you want to be that. The sad thing, and this is coming from somebody, that it doesn't matter how far you get, you're always going to feel like you're nothing because people treat you like that. It doesn't matter your accomplishments. You're always going to feel like you never did it good enough. And I think that's a lot of it. I think he's a tragedy. And he's still alive, and I'm glad. And he's doing the best he can because, you know, people are going to see in his shows. As much as everybody wants to make, he's playing with Limp Bizkit. He's playing with other bands, and he's selling out, bro. Like, he's making money. I know but I'll be honest with, he's better than most of the shit that's coming out. At least you can understand him. Some of the other shit that's out there is horrible. It's no better. So, I mean, I actually rather go see him and half the shit that's going out there. I can't stand Taylor Swift. I'd rather watch him play the guitar 500 times and see that fucking idiot run around dancing around. I'm just telling you. Look, like he was saying, Camilla, the chick that she had singing on her thing in Milwaukee. I'd rather listen to Corey Feldman all day. Sorry, it's not the horriblest guy, not the best. He's lost, bro, and he's always trying to catch that star again. Like he's gonna get what he was in the 80s and 90s, and he's never gonna get it. He's always gonna be Corey Feldman, and now he's you know, he plays in bands, he makes money, whatever. He's a great guy. You know, after meeting him, he talks to me and he always responds. He knows who our show is on Staring into the Abyss. He knows James. It's just a sad situation because you know what? After I met him, I went home and started watching Goonies and stuff like that. It was I had a 3-day weekend. I think it was Labor Day weekend when I went and saw him on a Friday night. And I was like, fuck, I finally got to meet him. And I told James I was always going to meet him. But the one thing I haven't done is got him on the show. And we are. I'm still going to get him on the show, but I do agree with you. He just thinks he's a better a better guitarist and singer altogether. And he really is. And that's other people's fault. You know, he's not the best guitarist in the world. I will say that. And dancing, whatever. But he doesn't put a bad show on. I saw the show and it was actually pretty decent. I mean, I could see Andy in there. I think Andy's just jealous because he wants to be the drummer. So you know, that's why I said I think Andy just wants to be the drummer. So and he likes and see what you got to realize is Andy's always liked Michael Jackson. So I think he's a little bit jealous of Corey. So he wanted to wear the other side of the glove. So. But that being said, I just had to make it a little bit funny. But he's a good guy. But I do agree with some of the stuff you said, Andy. He's kind of somewhat delusional sometimes, but he's not doing it in a bad way. That's why it's hard to say bad things about the guy, because he isn't doing it in a bad thing. Not as a bad-hearted thing. That's what I'm saying. And I agree with what James said. He's kind of had too much stuff happening. So that being said, you know, I think the show's pretty much over with. I hope you guys enjoyed it. On More Screwed, check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. We are very controversial. We are going to say shit that's going to probably piss you off, especially James Hershey. He's very passionate. King of the rant, but sometimes he gets into passionate talk. So do I. Andy, very cool, calm guy. Me, I'm very crazy and insane, and I say shit that I just don't care. What do you think? I'm gonna go to bed tonight. That's all that matters. You have a good night, Misfits. I'm gonna throw it over to Andy, and I want to shed one. I'm gonna give a shout out to Don. We'll talk about him on Thursday, but thank you for listening to our show, buddy, and I'm glad we got to help you with your problems, and we'll talk about that on Thursday. There you go, guys.
Well, I'll tell you, man, I lived out in California for a little bit, and I can tell you one of the biggest fucking idiots that I seen act like a fucking idiot in a bar was Pauly Shore. I seen him get pulled out of his seat and thrown flat on his ass for just the way he was acting, but that's what he was about, you know. But my shout out today or tonight, however you want to look at, I want to give a shout out to the people just like the two of you that keep it real, and they give their opinions and they put it out there with passion, but always respecting to listen to the other side. And I think that's what makes this show unique, because all three of us may see shit differently, but we all respect each other and the way we, you know, go about it. I knew the Feldman thing would get old boy fired up, so that's why I was kind of keeping it quiet. And you know, but the thing is, I do that. We all check on each other, man, and this world needs that more and more and more out here. So the ones that keep it real, the ones that check on their brothers, even though it's not by blood, or their sisters, however you want to call it. You know, there's a lot of depression out here in the world now because of how people treat one another. And the thing is, if anything else out of this show that I want to say that comes out of it is the fact that people can see three individuals from three different walks of life, kind of, sort of, get along, laugh at each other, make fun of each other, poke at each other, And tomorrow morning or sometime tomorrow, I know I will get a message from old boy just telling me to have a good day. You know what I'm saying? And I know I can reach out to either one of these two motherfuckers, and they're going to be right there to listen. And they know the same with me. And the last shout out is I have a good friend, Jordan, that's in the hospital, and he's fighting. Was in a car accident, got burned up pretty bad, lungs damaged, and he's getting better. So, you know, great guy, man. Very, very exceptional investigator in the paranormal. That's how I met him. And but the guy would do just about anything for you. And so shout out to him and his young lady who's by his side through all of this. Just want him to know we're thinking of him. So back to you there, Hershey.
We talk about a lot of different things. We talk about a lot of different people. So I want to use my shout out tonight, not to talk about somebody or something, but to talk to somebody. And I want to kind of talk about what we were just talking about with Corey Feldman. And that's who I'll talk to. I'll talk to you, Corey. This is to you, brother. Old boy said that he thinks that music is your way of trying to get back to the stardom, you know, to your level that you were at or whatever. What I really wish, and I know that this probably won't happen because I understand, you know, I know what you're going through. I know what you're feeling. But I wish that you would understand that to an entire generation of people, you don't have to get back to that level of stardom because you never lost it, brother. You never went down from that level. You are a national fucking treasure. From my heart to you, bro. You are a national fucking treasure. And I wish that you could see yourself that way, the way we see you. Yeah, we might poke a little fun at you up on stage every once in a while and stuff, but man, we love you, brother. And for a whole generation of people, you are the 80s and 90s, bro. I mean, I wish you could see yourself that way. I know you're in a lot of pain. I know that you have issues sometimes, bro. But trust me, you don't have to try to make up for anything. You don't have to try to do anything to put yourself up on a pedestal or put yourself up at another level. Because like I said, man, you ain't never lost it, bro. They may not give you movies in Hollywood no more or nothing like that, but you can show up any place you want. And just advertise you're going to be there, and I guarantee you there'll be tens of thousands of us that'll show up for you. And you don't even have to do nothing, bro. You don't have to get up there and put on a show for us. Just sit there and talk to us. Because you're family. We love you. We grew up with you, man. So that's my message. That's my shout out straight to you, bro. You're the man. So don't feel bad about yourself, man. Because we love the hell out of you. And we'll support you and back you no matter what the hell you're doing. 100%. And I cannot believe that old boy didn't talk about Friday the 13th. You're a horror guy, man. Friday the 13th. He played in. Okay. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. This show is probably long as hell. I don't know how long we've been doing it because, see, I got to take my glasses off to do the show because I'm in the studio. I got so many lights and all this bullshit. And if I don't, it looks like a fucking disco ball going around. So I can't even see the damn clock to know how long we've been going. But I imagine it's been a while. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. As always, it's up to you to make up your own mind about anything we talk about tonight. That's what being free is all about. We'll catch you on the next one. Till we speak to you again. Love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.